This is the Discussions in Body Art podcast, where health inspectors and other regulators, body art facility owners and managers, practitioners, and others can hear concise information about body art safety. If you're interested in bite-sized body art information, this is the podcast for you. My name is John Johnson and I'm your host. Please see Session 0 for disclaimers and take a survey at newflowerstudio.com. I was a co-presenter recently for a presentation titled Why Codes Matter. Now, I didn't create the presentation. It was written by Crystal Tate from NEHA, the chairperson of NEHA's Body Art Committee at the time of this recording. If you're not familiar, NEHA is the National Environmental Health Association, whose members are our health inspectors that visit our body art studios and other facilities which present environmental health risks like restaurants. Again, it was Crystal's presentation. I simply joined her to offer some perspective of a body piercer. NEHA and the APP are allies. NEHA is much bigger in scope while the APP has a very narrow mission. We have a mutually beneficial relationship. NEHA gets great guidance for body piercing facility inspection, and the APP gets exposure to inspectors. I'd like to remind you that this podcast series is in no way connected to the APP, the Association of Professional Piercers. This is an independent project of my own. Remember, you can listen to Session 0 for more disclaimers. Also, remember my experience is US-based only. I've been an APP member for most of my career and a volunteer for the association since 1999, and I joined the association's Legislative and Regulatory Affairs Committee in 2017. Thanks for joining me for this session. The topics of regulations, codes, and standards are probably the least fun in body piercing, so I really do appreciate you listening or reading. This stuff really is important. What follows is a summary of my thoughts on the topic of why codes matter. Let me start by asking what attracts piercers to APP membership and/or APP-hosted educational opportunities, and also the other body art educational organizations around the industry like the APT, Alliance of Professional Tattooists. Again, my experience is limited to piercing, so I'll speak on that only. I think the APP appeals to safety-minded people with a natural inclination for continued education, professional enrichment, and compliance. As APP members, we usually value professionalism. We often value science and evidence-based decision-making, and we're generally conscientious people. Let me finally get into it. Codes matter because they impact you. Hear me out. If you live in a place with codes, you should care. If you live in a place without codes, you should care. Good codes, you should care. With bad codes, you should care. If they're outdated, you should care. If they're being created or updated and revised, you should care. And if they're well enforced, you should care. And lastly, if they're poorly enforced, you should care. You fit into one of those scenarios. As a member of NEHA and one of the 3 APP members on their body art committee, I get to be involved in their educational offerings for body art inspectors. This includes both in-person and online training. Some of the inspectors in our training already know about the APP and love to talk about their relationship with the APP members they inspect. There's a real tendency for APP members to form great relationships with their inspectors. And if you're a piercer who takes the APP's online bloodborne pathogens presentation, they do contact the association to confirm the legitimacy of certificates sometimes, or with other questions. Did you know concern over upcoming legislation in California in 1994 is the origin story of the APP? California piercers formed an alliance to be able to contribute to a health code that would regulate them. Fun fact, There's a 19-year time span between gauntlet body piercing opening and the formation of the APP. While considering the question, why codes matter, remember, regulators do depend on industry feedback and contribution to codes. That's why organizations that represent industry professionals are important. They have credibility, and the more members they have, the more visibility they have. Join one if you can. It's important to have health codes, but they're only as relevant as they are current, meaning reflective of the modern industry and its legitimate issues of workplace and public safety, and with reasonable solutions. Thanks for listening. This is the halfway point to the full version of this session, which is available to subscribers on Patreon, where I also have free blog content. If you'd like additional free content, check it out. You can even subscribe at the free level.